Dang. I almost forgot to put myself in my own live. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Of course, you know who this is. This is the reluctant back again. Um, hey, what's up, Zimalu? Hey, Simplified Texas Marine. Daniel Porter, what's going down? Hey, what's up, One Loyal King? Okay, so as um, as we get this thing started, right? What's up, your boy K? As y'all know, the president is about to do the State of the Union. And who gives a F what he has to say? Young boy 24. And this is why. The media, and almost the entirety of the West have been lying to us, the people in the West, about everything all the time. Since even before this dude was selected and put in. What's up, David Bowman? Hey, did you get your stuff, David Bowman? I know Daniel got his. Mm-hmm. So we got the weakness. Our government is so weak right now, but not because of what you think. Okay, what's up, Wayne King? All right. Our government is very weak right now, but not for the reasons that one might think. Okay? Not for the reasons that you may think. The reason that the government is weak is a self-inflicted wound that this government has put on itself to the degree that almost any citizen that has the ability to watch the news, research, study anything, would be a fool to believe anything that comes. Hey, what's up, DC? All right. So let's make that clear. So slanted is everything that's going on that any Afro person, I want y'all to hear this. Any Afro person that goes a simplified USMC vet that goes along with this Democratic Party line. Oh, and Republican one too, because Fox is not reporting really what's going on either. But any Afro person that have been listening to social media at all, that's been on TikTok, maybe Twitter, all right, should be called out for following this garbage. They all should be called out for following this garbage. Now, I want y'all to get a gander at the picture here. And I want y'all to understand the importance of what you are seeing right now. Here, let me blow it up a little bit so that y'all, so that we can concentrate on this right now. What you are looking at right here is symbolism. Yes, is pure, unadulterated symbolism and destruction. All right. Symbolism and destruction of Afro communities everywhere. See, with the YT people that run government, the media, and this whole supremacist system understood that if they could get enough of the right people to betray Afro people and get the right ones to do it, they can utterly destroy them from the cradle to the grave. They understood that no one is more willing and more able to do that than the BAW. And understand, from the cradle, before the cradle, let's say this, before the cradle until after the grave. Why do I say before the cradle until after the grave? I'm not saying these things lightly. We're looking at the statistics. I've been putting up the data and the statistics for everybody for a long time. I've been ignored over and over again. People are able to get into office unquestioned. All right, unquestioned. No matter how questionable how they got into office is, there's something going on in Houston where the Houston mayor got rid of a good deal for Houston, for the people of Houston, and then cronyism hired the person to make less. This is what housing, build less, but charge Houstonians more. It's a difference, okay? But don't act like this is an anomaly for those of you who live in Houston. Remember the president of TSU. She used funds to, I mean, she was mad. Whoo, she was, while people were struggling to pay the tuition at TSU, she was living so large, it was ridiculous till she got caught. All right, I want y'all to understand that. See, this isn't only the Democrats. See, here's the thing. I was looking at some past videos, and I'm put them up. I have to make sure it would be something that could go up, because you know how they're shadow banning stuff and how they're trying to keep the real truth from coming out, unless it's about one particular party, the Republicans. All right. You're not allowed to tell the truth about the Democrats. But here's the problem. I can't say stuff about the Republicans anymore if they're going to block my stuff that shows the crookedness of the Democrats, but allow my stuff to go through that's showing the crookedness of the Republicans, the way I've always done. See, My whole thing is I'm trying to stand for justice and righteousness. And so I'll get them both, right? But here's the issue. I have to understand that when they are manipulating the information to put out information that I know is going to be totally one-sided, is to do damage to the truth itself. It's better to let people research the entire truth for themselves and tell them they need to look at what the Democrats have been doing. Because see, here's the difference between the Democrats and Republicans. We always called out the Republicans. But the sad part is that many of us, even though the Democrats did stuff to our face, we said, well, it's okay because they get to be racist because they're Democrat. Basically, that was our MO. Well, they get to be racist because they're Democrats. And Lord knows we don't want to speak ill of Democrats because that's our team. All right. And that's the thing that we have no team. This is something I'm trying to get everybody to understand. We have no team. Uh-oh. All right. So they starting with their shenanigans again. Oh, yeah. So they're trying to keep a lot of race. All right. So we're going to go somewhere with this. All right. Because this is important for us to see. When we tell the truth, when we tell the truth, they're trying to block us. Now, for the brothers who are under my voice, um, for the brothers who are under my voice right now, yes, by a long shot, the Democrats have damaged humanity the worst by a long shot. It isn't even close. All right, it's not even close. And how they did it was through the BAW. And basically, this was a concerted effort by them. Interesting. This was a concerted effort by them. All right. And so basically, on here, let's go back to what was going on. All right. And how this could have been avoided if people wanted to avoid this. All right. But there has been a power grab, and no human being in the United States that support the United States government has the right to say anything about what Putin is doing. We don't have that right. No one in the West has a right to judge that man. No one in the West has a right to judge that man. No one. After all the heinous things that we did in Iraq, which was a downright, bold-faced, outright lie. Benghazi, another outright lie. To Gaddafi, another outright lie. Let's not forget about all the assassinations in 2020 of African leaders whose people were doing well under the plan that was unleashed on the world, who then decided, you know what? We don't need solutions from the Caucasians. So there was an attempt on a leader in Madagascar. Haiti's leadership was taken out in his bed by a bunch of special U.S. former soldiers. We haven't heard much from them. I want y'all to understand this. Since this man that's in office now, been in office, he has taken away the right for any person in the U.S. to say anything about anyone else, anywhere, about anything that they are doing, especially Russia. It's not our deal. All right. So this is what the news isn't telling you. And some of this I know because I was closer to it than usual. And I'll explain that. So there was a TikTok of a little PFC crying, saying that she did not join the army to go to war. See if I can find that real quick. So I want you to grasp that logic. This female on TikTok, hope I didn't erase her, was crying. Oh, I got her. And I want y'all to just really grasp this. I found her. I want y'all to really consider what we are talking about here. I want y'all to really understand the difference between the people that are going into service now. Oh, wow. Look like I'm having a problem. Y'all let me know if y'all can still hear me. Y'all let me know if y'all can still hear me. All right. Please let me know if you can hear me. Kind of got some shady dealings. Right now, it seems like, and let me say this. Okay, let me do this way. Because, I mean, really was not important.
There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So let me get to my story. All right. Let me get to my story. Those who follow me on TikTok, y'all are probably aware of this because I talk about it. All right. And so, what's up, Lamont Ellis? All right. So here's the issue. There's some agreements that were made in the late 70s with Gorby. All right. Dealing with nuclear stuff. All right. Then other agreements that were made when the walls came down in East Germany, in Berlin, East Berlin. All right. Now, I was there. I was there at the time that happened. I was young, but being young and looking at the euphoria of the people from West Germany, I understood the gravity of what was happening that night. All right. So let me explain that night as it happened. And the night happened like this, that everybody's chilling, right? And what we didn't know is people, something was going on in East Berlin. All right. And so people were lined up at the wall All right, in East Berlin, they were lined up at the wall, and West Berlin, they were lined up, looking at the. I don't know what was going on, but this is what I know that was going on. All right, this is basically what I know that was going on. We're chilling, and what we know is people from East Germany walked across the gate. We didn't know the details of what was going on, but people in East Germany was walking across the gate, and people from West Germany went to meet them. This all happened in Berlin. And we're watching, not understanding what's going on. This is before the Iraq mess and all the rest of that stuff, right? The first one. And so what happens is that Gorbachev, he was the president of at the time, USSR. It was the Union of the Soviet Socialist Republic. All right. When they would come in for the Olympics, they were called the CCCP. So basically, this is what happens. So this thing, they come together, and then all of a sudden they start tearing the wall down. All right. They, not the government. The government did not start tearing the wall down. The people did. They went and got tools and start chipping away until they just start tearing the wall down. And many of us that were there, all right, many of us that were there, we got pieces of the wall. Some of us sent it home. Like I sent a couple pieces home to people because it was history at the time. Now, what was happening is because that union happened, the United States and NATO, all right, made an agreement that we would not encroach upon the Eastern Europe. We broke that agreement. We broke every agreement that we had with everyone, like we've always done. Let me not say we've, because I'm not running the government. The government of the US broke every agreement with everyone since the Indians. And that's why there is always mess. Period. This is why we said, and then after this last fiasco, we now understand the lies and understand how the media is in on it because of what happened for the last 2 years. Hey, what's up, Backwoods Rider? Now, let me say this. What's up, Michael Duncan? All right, let me say this. Many of y'all are going to be blocked off of this is because this is not only true, this is historical truth that I was a part of and understand from that perspective. And I wasn't a part of it as a real participant. I was a part of it like as a witness because the participants were the actual Germans. All right. The participant were the actual Germans. And it was like a lot of euphoria that happened at the time. All right. It was a lot of euphoria that happened at the time. Everybody was extremely happy. All right. Now, we had agreements in place that NATO did not follow. If you look at the map, you will find that Russia is surrounded by NATO. There was supposed to be a buffer. Our media, our media has outright lied through their teeth to us for the past 2 years. What makes you think we should believe them clowns now? I want y'all to think about that for a second. They lied. They lied for the past 2 years about everything. This is the same media that makes it a point to make Afro people look bad in the media, lying again. People believe so many false narratives about us because of our media. The movie industry. All right, I want y'all to understand that. Well, here's the thing. I say the 2 years one because they've been lying to us since jump, right? But I say the 2 years one because there's something else I want people to understand. All right, there's something else I want people to understand. Is that the reason why our media and now so-called Black people are getting concerned about where we stand. All right, I want y'all to understand this. Certain Black people are becoming concerned about where we stand because of what's happening to the Africans in the Ukraine. So I want y'all to understand this. A lot of people are getting, Afro people are starting to get concerned about where we stand because of what's happening to the Africans in the Ukraine and in Poland. All right. And part of this is due to this, that a lot of people these people who are melanated, who went against others who were melanated, who thought they were better than other melanated people, thought that if they went out and got the European education while still not selling out, that one, they were going to achieve some kind of dream. And not realizing that the only dream you get to have is being a nightmare. Understand this, being a nightmare for people being a nightmare for people that you are now against, because the dream you want had one little caveat, that you must promote this supremacy idea. And I want you to understand that. That was the caveat, that you must promote the idea because they're the ones that gave you the education. They gave you the type of education so that you could promote that system. So mad is like, y'all are so insensitive. Nobody goes. Okay, hold on for a second. To go to war, thinking they're going to go to war. I'm financed, for crying out loud. All right, I'm gonna show you this girl in a minute. Right now.
I watched this whole video. There's two parts of me activated. One is like, she can be scared. That's perfectly normal. I don't expect nobody to go to war or have to potentially fight for their fucking life.
And hold on, I'm gonna play this real quick.
Like you half fucking crazy or something. But at the same time, when she said nobody joins the military.
All right, now let me play this back so that y'all can understand something. I kept saying that by actively recruiting females the way that they do, they were doing a disservice. Well, let me see if I can do this. No, that don't work. They were doing a disservice to the men. And they were doing a disservice to the men exactly for this particular reason right here. Hold on for a second. Oh, I already got it going. All right. Okay. Got the one I need. All right, so let's go back and let's see if I can get in here now. Bust a move on in here. All right. And let's see, Youngboy 24, Michael Duncan. All right. All right, so now let's bust something in here real quick. See if I can get up in here. And remember, if y'all find it slowing down, just refresh. All right. Just refresh for a moment. All right.
All right, so let me get up on this one now. Get up on the good foot. All right, and so let me share this video file.
Y'all are so insensitive. Nobody goes in.
All right, and I want y'all to pay attention to this. And I'm going to play it back again, right? The problem is this. For so long, they have been telling men, we don't need you. especially the Afro men. We don't need you. We women, we could do everything. We don't need you. Now, when it comes to this, where they got to go and potentially fight men, now you get this. Hold on for a second.
They fight for their fucking life to be like, yeah.
Some people are like that, though. All right. So here's the thing. She is afraid, and everybody is afraid. All right, back again, back again. All right, so y'all know what time it is when we talk the truth. Hold on for a second. All right. So let me say this. Here's something that our politicians did not understand, that Americans are starting to become more about justice than a political party. And either people that are more bound to a political party than justice, are starting to be looked at side eye, and rightfully so. And and so again, what they do with us is they prop up the BW before us as a symbol, but that symbol isn't meant for the men. That is, if you noticed, what Biden's nominee for the Supreme Court looked like when he said he was going to pick a black woman. What did they all have in common? The front runners. What did they all have in common? I'll give you a hint. Look at who they were married to. Now, if we understand biblically, if we understand biblically what it means for a wife, the wife follows the lead of her husband. All right? The wife follows the lead of her husband. And what you've seen is no one was ever chosen by the Republicans or the Democrats since Thurgood Marshall that represented Afro people. They were careful to always choose people that represented them, not us. All right, so this is something to understand. All right, and so basically, y'all know I'm getting ready to head to Brazil. I'm getting ready to head to Brazil, and what I did was I ordered a little more. I ordered a lot more balls than I had intended to, for this reason. I think time is winding up for people who want to do good, and it's going to come to a time when there's not going to be enough help. So I'm trying to do as much as I can with the little time that I think we have left, because the problem has never been the government per se. The government can't be that effective unless it could whip people up into a frenzy and get them to choose without wanting justice or morality. Yes, I'm saying that the problem with American government is now that the American people will support all kind of wickedness so long as it's their team that does the wickedness. Remember, we keep saying that the BAW is not on our team. She is on the team of the government, which was a well-planned out and thought out thing for the government to do. All right. So I want y'all to understand that this was well planned out. So basically, now let me do this real quick for two reasons. All right. So I'm putting up in the chat room. So anyone that wants to pop on, and basically we want people with military experience. We don't care how long or how short that experience was, to pop in first, right? So y'all see the link down there, and then or people that have traveled or lived outside of the United States. That's who we want to pop in right now. Hey, what's up, B the Great B? All right. So basically, what we're looking at is what's a backwoods. So what we're looking at is a system in the United States that have always lied. The Afro people said they're liars and they've always lied. But the difference is a lot of the Caucasian peoples are starting to look at how deep the lying goes. And the thing that sunk the ship of the powers that be is these last 2 years and before. The people are like, wait a minute. They're like, wait a minute. You are the same people that told us this, that, and the other. And I wasn't joking when I said it. Some of y'all may remember that a while back, I said, and y'all can just pop in, go down, hold on, I'll get to the link, but whomever can just pop in. But I said this, and this is a man's discussion. All right. I said this. All right. Hey, what's up, Texas Marine? Anybody else want to pop in? They could just pop right on in. All right. But I said this. I said these people will get it to the point where they will take away the air. People thought I was joking. I wasn't joking. What happened when they told you couldn't go outside, you couldn't go anywhere, indoors, outside, and your children couldn't go to school? What did they want you to make there? And what does that thing mainly do? It doesn't protect you. Science said from the beginning it didn't protect you. People like me that worked in laboratories, that worked with actual biohazardous stuff, that carried out biohazardous stuff out of the lab, that worked with organisms like botulism, all right, that plated these things, that worked with spore forming bacteria and plated these things, all right. A mask, we weren't, no, all right. And when stuff was that dangerous, when I used to do ward rounds, all right, we would go into certain people's rooms. That's a biohazard. We gown up, put all the protection on. What did we do as soon as we stepped out their door? There was one door that we stepped out. We took the gown and everything off, threw it in the biohazard trash, and then we walked outside to our cart. What's up, Yaya? Okay. So when they said you're going to have your children wear this crap everywhere, you're going to go into Walmart and stuff, they shut down all the small businesses, but not the big ones. Nothing but lies. All right, nothing but lies. And now they want us to believe them about a dude that got NATO all around their border. And we're looking, and those of us remember, we're like, we kind of broke some promises there. All right. Those of us who are Afro understand that these people never kept their word. Now, let me say this. We got one of the little teeny tiny problem. All right. One little teeny tiny problem that they have been trying to hide from us.
And their wife and left the niggas behind. Like everyone is stranded. This is really too bad.
We just need to get it through our heads. It's something that we have a great difficulty with doing, but it is still a fact. And that difficulty that we have with wrestling with that fact and then moving forward is the reason why we find ourselves in this regressed, depressed, and oppressed state, no matter where in the world we find ourselves. This is a bare minimum fact, and it's uncomfortable, but it's also the truth. Wherever you find black people at in this world, you will find racism. Because that is the way that the white power structure has set things up to be. Does not matter even if you're in Africa, you will find racism. Some levels of racism are more easier to consume. Certain levels of racism, not so much so. But it does not change the fact that you will deal with it. Here, just like anywhere else on the planet, these African Ukrainians are dealing with racism. Just like any other black or brown person will, for as long as this power structure is set up the way that it is.
Now with the Russians marching in, it's changed the calculus entirely. Tens of thousands of people have tried to flee the city. There will be many more. People are hiding out in bomb shelters. But this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that has seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too, city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going to happen. So it's partly human nature, but they are not in denial.
Did y'all understand that? relatively civilized. Did you have anything to add to this? Did you have anything to add, Texas Marine?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Anywhere those of us that travel, and you've traveled more than me as far as military goes. Anywhere you've gone, only place I couldn't get to was Okinawa because my father was stationed there. But anywhere I've gone, even in Ramstein, when I did venture off the base for the little time I was there, as a Afro male, melanated man, you're gonna get some awkward treatment. And I was in civvy, so I wasn't dressed like a Marine, and I've always had a bald head, so I didn't have a typical military haircut. You're gonna get it, but when you're not in the first world countries, you get treated a little better. I got treated better in Somalia when we got the warlords calmed down than I did get treated in in Australia. In Australia, I got treated great by the women, but the men didn't want us there. In the Philippines, it's 50-50. Depends on the day, the week, the month, and what's going on until they shut it down. It is what it is, and we have to accept that. I said this, and I said this when I saw that whole Ukraine thing. It's like Malcolm said, and he's been proven right globally. You go to learn their education. What do you think's going to happen? You're learning their version of world history, not the real version, and you have the people that want to oppress you, educating you into their thought process. Why not go to your schools, learn your education, and make it better? Doesn't make sense. Everybody runs to the U.S. and Europe to go get educated, and then wonder why they're treated so bad. That just because you go into their system and accept their way, don't mean they like you. That's never been the truth anywhere you go.
Hello.
It's never been that way. Malcolm said, "You're gonna let your oppressors educate your children." That's crazy. You might as well call it Stockholm syndrome. It's never made sense.
That's basically what it is.
And for us here that were born in these United States, we were born into a system, but we had to learn how to use the system against the system. So you had to learn their education, but on the backside, get the truth. I was brought up in school thinking that Kennedy saved black people. He did the Civil Rights Act. He ain't do jack. He didn't want to do it. You don't realize that till you get older. But you indoctrinated in the school system and in your home if you got nothing but women in the house. I was born and raised Democrat, and they just saved us, and they were the best thing, and Republicans were evil. Not so much. So, anywhere we go in the world, any first world country we go to is going to be the same treatment. And like I told her in the chat, the CDC ain't never did nothing for us. They did it for everybody but us. Any so-called black leaders have an agenda, unless they did. Them the ones who didn't have an agenda. Or they got killed when they woke up and realized I was wrong. Anywhere in the world, Gaddafi, Malcolm, Martin when he woke up, Huey, Black Panthers. You can't have that Messiah uniting the people.
Here's okay, so here's our issue right here. Our issue is that, and I'm talking about so-called Afro people, black people, whatever you want to call yourself, right? Our problem is this. Our problem is this, that for a while, okay, for a while, we think that their ice is colder. We think that their ice is colder. And one has to ask yourselves, why is their ice colder? I mean, that's one thing. That's one thing we got to ask ourselves. Why is their ice colder?
Or why do
All
we
right.
believe it?
Um, why do we believe that their ice is colder? All right. Why do we believe their ice is colder? We've been doing ourselves a disservice, and we let people call us savages. All right. We let people call, and I want y'all to understand this. For those of you who don't understand the gravity of this is something that even Caucasians are starting to understand the gravity of. All right. I want y'all to pay attention to this.
Letters he writes, they are very simple and honest and exceedingly liberal with all they have, none of them refusing anything he may possess when he is asked for it. They exhibit great love towards all others in preference to themselves. He says, they are the best people in the world and above all the gentlest, without knowledge of what is evil, nor do they murder or steal. They love their neighbors as themselves, and they have the sweetest talk in the world, always laughing. After saying all that, he then writes,
And you can tell he's reading.
Oh, dropped off again. Hey, Michael Duncan, would you say inferiority complex or would you say naive? Because I believe the Afro male in Africa did the same thing that the Afro natives here did when they first encountered the European man. Welcoming, accepting, helping. Or would you say differently? Yeah, his stuff keep getting messed with whenever he's dropping the real knowledge. Yeah, it got us all jacked up. You know, that's where we are now because I think as a people, the Afro people, regardless of where we were accepting of others and wanted to help. Not that we couldn't fight, we just didn't. We just looked at. I think we looked at everybody that was coming as somebody that you know would be accepting of us as we are accepting of them, and that ain't what happened. And I believe it was just a select group of people from the continent of Africa and a select group of people from this land over here. You good, Dwayne Boyd? You good?
Our problem is that we look at everybody as human beings. And if you heard what he said we can bring 50 people and take them over. Y'all, we were never conquered. When the black women say, oh, y'all were conquered, that's why we go to the Caucasian man as a mate. No, we were never conquered. We were betrayed. Our kindness towards them betrayed us. They came in, and like he said, they were laughing. We were very hospitable because that's what we were taught to be, very hospitable. We didn't know the devilish people that we were messing with. And even the guy who is a Caucasian guy, let's see if we can post this again. Even this Caucasian guy was
Ever read in history, and it's about Columbus meeting the natives. In his letters, he writes, "They are very simple and honest and exceedingly liberal with all they have, none of them refusing anything he may possess when he is asked for it. They exhibit great love towards all others in preference to themselves." He says, "They are the best people in the world and above all the gentlest, without knowledge of what is evil, nor do they murder or steal. They love their neighbors as themselves, and they have the sweetest talk in the world, always laughing." After saying all that, he then writes, "They would make fine servants. With 50 men, we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want." Is that not the most...
wow.
Oh yeah, USMP vet. The natives, we are the natives. They didn't bring all the slaves didn't come across the water, and we know that from the Dawes Road, just from the Dawes Road, with how many Caucasian men and women got added to the Dawes Road. We know we are all the dots line up to telling you that the natives were us. And when you find old pictures of the natives, so-called natives, the indigenous people and aboriginal people of this land, it's us.
All right. Let me say this. Now, the people that they were talking about, he described them as dudes with an afro. Dark people, my complexion with an afro. That's why I keep calling us Afro Bros. Brothers, anybody, if whoever's in the Houston area right now, whoever's in the Houston area, I would like to get together with y'all tomorrow because I came across some stuff, and we need to get together as brothers. Peace and be on me. But I would like to, for those in the Houston area, and I'll try to call the rest of y'all, and I'll try to call the rest of y'all. I'll get in touch with Brother Elijah, and I have something to present to y'all, right? Some information that I found, but it's one of them things that okay, let's do this kind of live, but
things I've ever read in history, and it's
let's get
about
to the.
Columbus meeting the natives. In his...
Let's get here.
After saying all that, he then writes, "They would make fine servants. With 50 men, we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want." Is that not the most brutal thing you've ever heard? Like, I just don't understand how we got to that point as humans. How did we let such evil people be in charge of this world?
And keep in mind that he was reading from Columbus's words. And when you go look at other documents, Columbus was looking at people that look more like me. not like the Mongolian, which they refer to as the red man. Now, we all existed here on the same land. Okay? Hey, what's up, Dwayne Boyd? Hey, man, what's up? All right. So, I mean, we've all been around for a minute. I mean, all right, we were here first, according to archaeology. Don't do that DNA mess. That DNA mess is a lie. Sociology is a lie. Sociology is to train you to see everyone from the perspective of the white man being dominant and by his standards, but his standards is to stab hospitable people in the back and then steal their land. And then go tell everybody that he conquered them. Conquer is when you beat somebody in a battle face up. No, they came, saw people were nice, and said, you know what? Let's stab them in the back and force them into slavery and all the rest of the stuff. We'll do it in such a way that they won't recognize what's happening to them until it's too late. And this is why I have a problem with a lot of these dudes running around like trying to teach people how to run game to gain more finances, how to be a millionaire. All right, because they now have the mentality of the Caucasian. Now, let me say this. All right, let me say this. Hold on. Hold on.
All right. So let me. All right. So let me. Wow.
And USMC vet, they done made it to where people can decide they not. They made this whole biracial thing. They've never been biracial. You are what your father is. So through laws put in by Caucasian men or YT men, now you can decide, oh, well, I'm biracial, the Tiger Woods. Oh, I'm not black, I'm this, I'm that. You know. So Kamala can be black when she's not black, but others can't be black. It's an ish cell. If we broke it down to what it is based on the word of the Most High, there'd probably be a few 100 million of us. They subjugated and killed the non so-called warring tribes easily. The ones that wasn't having that, they had to work to get them. The ones that wasn't having that wasn't going down easy. You sue, Blackfoot, your Comanches, they weren't going down easy. The Apaches, nah, they weren't going out like that. And some of those warring tribes, some of their warriors had escaped slavery or knew what was going on, how they were enslaved. So you was gonna kill them before you put them back in them bonds.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay, that's good. So long as you can hear me. All right.
So you got a window with you up and you got one buffering. Well, now they both buffering. Hey, USMC vet, somebody I saw somewhere they're saying they're estimating
this
million black folks now.
Situation.
Go ahead now.
I'm tired of this situation where they're always blocking us from being heard. And this is, like I said, this is why we can't trust the government. And this is how we know that this is one of the most racist entities. But everything is in their control. The only thing is not in their control is us going back to not being lazy, walking to visit each other, driving to visit each other, because it's going to be a time where we're not going to be able to trust any of these platforms anymore. The only ones they're promoting is the BW that's shaking her behind all up in people's faces. And then once she gets a bunch of simps in, then she start preaching to them a bunch of clown BS. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right. And while she's preaching to them the clown BS, they're following it. They got their army to go against the people. Because the government can't really do anything. They're only so few. But what they can do is con other people to listen to them. And that's the sad shame in all of this. That's the sad shame in all of this. Sad shame in all of this is this, that they are able to control us by using some of us to get rid of the people that mean the most good, while they never really figure out that their destruction of good people is going to cause their own demise, where they end up the very slaves that these people want them to be. Right. We outnumber them. Now, here's the thing. We got to stand for justice, though. And that's the problem. We don't stand for crap.
Yep.
We got to stand for justice. And until we stand for justice, all right, we'll be fooled by anything. And that's the truth of the matter. We will be fooled by anything because we don't stand for justice. And that's the saddest thing about all of this. All right. Hold on for a second.
Hey, the way, boy, they gonna lose it when they can't get all the all the privileges without doing the work, they upset. When you make them have to do the work they required to do, and they can't do it, and you won't simp for them, you're wrong. That's their problem. And that's the whole military thing. When Obama opened up all MOSs and they had to come in there and do the work, and they were able to come in there, because for the longest time, you get a woman in supply, take all these classes, all this stuff, her jacket look real good. She gonna get promoted faster because her PT test is simple. A sixth grader could pass the female PT test. But she get the perfect score, you know. She get promoted faster. She ain't did nothing. But now they in them combat MOSs, and now they know to get them women to make it look like the military is diverse, equitable, and inclusive, they have to fudge the scores to make it say, see, it worked. They can do it. And they can't. Work in warehouse. Them females, they can't do that work. You'll find that one anomaly that can keep up. She ain't season, but she can keep up. You find that one anomaly, and all the rest is like, man, this is sad. And when you look at the workers across the board, women are getting paid in men's field, and women are getting paid in women's field. Most men don't go into a woman's field. We're not going there. But they flooding ours, and they're already in theirs. They actually make more. They make more. Because they're across the board. Like that one guy.
They've always made more than us.
Yeah. If you don't like our business, start your own.
If you don't like our business, start your own.
They've always made more than us. Hold on. All right.
That's right, Charlie. A unicorn.
I know y'all can kind of hear me.
That one person in the Matrix that actually succeeded.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so, okay, here we go. So I knew this was going to happen. So I had to do all of this, right? And the reason being is this, that
Hey, choose your own path. Come on down, man. We need more analytical men down here.
yeah. Okay, so you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I see the balls too.
Okay, good. All right, so basically, I'm doing all this stuff, and basically, I'm thinking we got to get this to these places quick as we can. Most of it is going to go to Colombia, right? But I'm looking at Brazil as well as Colombia. And I'm looking at places in Texas for brothers, you know, to like an enclave, like Brother Dwight always talked about, right? Because what we want to do is start to get together collectively. Right. And like I said, I would like for the brothers that could meet me here in Houston to roll up here, possibly tomorrow, definitely tomorrow. All right. I got a couple of more balls coming in, and even with this used to go so smooth. This used to go so smooth, right? But even with this is getting more and more difficult. These are good quality. These are good quality. The children have fun. These are all the balls I left that I have to write on. And y'all understand what happens when we don't write on the balls. And Texas Marine can tell you, because he brought some down to Columbia for me. And yeah, he found out. He's like, oh, damn. All right.
The balls and the cologne.
Uh-huh. Now, and so I'm going to try to take a keyboard there. And I'm going to see how much money I have left to take the keyboard. But I said all that to say this. Everything is getting more difficult when it comes to being good. And it's almost as if they want us to tie to an evil system. And I mean, that system is evil. All right. The Most High didn't call us to be as wicked as the system is. All right. Period. The Most High did not call that for us. We're supposed to be better people than this system is. And you steady got dudes trying to work the system. Oh, if we work the system, we can make this kind of money. It's all about the money. Money, 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 money. We could be millionaires, gazillionaires, right? And here's the thing with that mentality. These are the same people that will never do more for the community than working for the system. All right. And I'm going to tell you something else that's really bizarre. I'm going to tell you something else that's really bizarre. And it shows you the mentality of the people that do this. But the people that go online and they look at how many Black millionaires there are, as if that is an accomplishment for the community. In other words, these are all signals. These are all tokens, right? Who cares if you got a bunch of Black millionaires if everybody else is starving? Apparently that's okay because it's Black millionaires. You see? So no one is caring about what we should care about. All right. They are giving God status to millionaires simply because they was able to do well in the Caucasian system. And by doing well, everybody else is doing worse. But it's okay because they're Black millionaires. And them being millionaires is supposed to make the community look better, but it doesn't. It don't even make the millionaires look better. And everybody, for the love of money, is trying to get people to stay in the system that is as evil can get. But we're okay with that system because we can point out Black millionaires. I'm saying like this. It is better to get together with people who are happy being regular people than to be like, you know what? We're Black millionaires. I really don't care much about that. You know why? Because it don't mean a damn thing if everybody around you is hungry. As a matter of fact, it means worse. If your main claim to fame is that we are Black millionaires and we're teaching people to be in this corrupt system, and we cannot, as a group of Black millionaires, make our own system, even leverage our money to where instead of we get, see, here's the thing with millionaires and billionaires and stuff. This is why the love of money. Their drive is always to make money, not to do right by the community. I want y'all to let that sink in. And they're not happy unless they're making millions. All right, hold on. All right, I'm trying to flip the camera around because I'm gonna have to do it this way. So I can't see anything. But anyway, and so that's the problem. The problem is that when you are that greedy, that millions isn't enough, because instead of getting a farm, instead of courting off a place where people can live righteously, your only purpose for money is to stay within the system that is so corrupt that at this point in time, no one can believe a damn thing that is coming out of a Caucasian person's mouth on TV, or any Afro person's mouth on TV on their stations. That's how bad things have gotten. All right. And it's gotten that bad because these people aren't deserving of any trust. They lied for 2 years. Some of us knew they were lying, but they hid us from everybody to make sure that people couldn't learn the truth. Or they tried to discredit people that put up evidence. But people that put up evidence and people decided not to follow it, that's not the people of the evidence. That's not the evil people that's trying to hide it. Once you saw it and discredited it, then that's on you. Period. When I have these conversations and when I talk and when I have these ideas, I have them for a reason. I would like for us to get together so that we could do better things, have some ideas, right? The Most High said in 1 Samuel 8 chapter that for us to want a king is a wicked thing. He said because we turned our back on him and wanted a king, he will turn his back on us and let us deal with these kings. And now we got a system of corruption like none has ever seen before. Let that sink in. We got people that have been evil to us from jump, and not one day did they ever let up. They wake up every morning thinking, what other evil thing we can do to maintain the ability to do evil? Oh, let's give them a token. We'll put some black lady on a coin. Let's give them another token. We'll make one a Supreme Court justice. Oh, and here's the genius of it. We'll make a pretend black woman vice president. But the genius of it is that these women will never work on behalf of the Afro community because they belong to the Caucasian. The Caucasian is their head. The only time that the BAW believe in the true function of marriage is when they get with a Caucasian man to help him destroy the Afro community in an insidious type of way. These people are nice. They're hospitable. They invite us in and feed us and make sure no danger happens to us. They are simply what we believe our white Jesus wanted people to be: peaceful and loving and caring. So let's stab them in the back, take their stuff, and steal their land. We can use them as slaves. in perpetuity. These are what them Africans didn't understand about the Ukraine and Europe. European people in Germany were cool as a fan, but I wouldn't trust their government. In Holland, they were cool as a fan, but I wouldn't trust their government. Period. In France, cool as a fan, but I wouldn't trust their government. We see what Trudeau has done to Canada. Now we know what the left is truly capable of. They want to rob everybody of their freedom because they don't know better than anyone. But they have whipped their minds in a frenzy that they can control everyone. But look how upset and childlike they get when people stand up to them. Then they want to slaughter, kill them, or destroy them financially. Oh no, this isn't Russia. This is Canada. The past 2 years. This is Biden. The past 2 years. This is the media. The past 2 years. That act as a propaganda wing to help these people. The past 2 years. Now they want us to believe what's coming out of their mouth here, especially when we can go on all these other platforms and see what's really going on from people's cell phone instead of the, hey, remember that thing, the ghost of Ukraine?
Yeah, supposed to be that pilot.
Yeah, do you know that was fake as hell?
That's what I kept hearing.
Yeah, it was fake as hell. It comes from the video game. Everything that they're talking about in this, everybody, is fake as hell. When they say the Russians are bogged out, nope, it's fake as hell. Now, let me say this. The Russians aren't really fighting this the way the United States would. What did we do in Iraq? What did we do in Syria? We assassinated their leaders, then we carpet bombed them. Like I said, the United States, any citizen in the United States, anybody in government in the United States, Condoleezza Rice was on Fox lying through her chief. You know, the one that had us invade Iraq and assassinate and destroy Saddam over stuff he didn't have. We lied. She helped that lie, promoted that lie. And she's fluent in Russian too. So she gets on Fox, right? Because she's for the system. She's not for justice. She's not for honor. She has no honor. She has no integrity. She gets on there and says that what Putin may have done is may be against the law.
Whose law?
Oh, hold on. What he's doing isn't even that. You could argue that he's surrounded by NATO.
But whose law? Whose law is it against?
He's not even against the, look, here's the thing, and that's the point. He's not even, he can make a case, he can literally make a case that NATO broke all their promises and treaty because they allow Poland in, they allow Lithuania in. NATO surrounded Russia. All right, and then they were going after Ukraine. He said, oh, hell no. All right, we can see this, and we're just regular people. Those of us that know the history. All right.
If you look at it, when Obama was there, they started talking about Ukraine and NATO, he took Crimea. Clinton didn't win, Trump won, and Trump was not he wasn't with them being part of NATO. So
exactly, because he knew that there needed to be a buffer.
Yeah. And
now here's the other thing. This is why we can't say anything. All right. I know what we were doing when we went to Iraq. I know what my buddies were doing.
That was all
right. That we were so, hold on. We were so wrong for what we did to Saddam in Iraq, especially hindsight 2020. with the lie of weapons of mass destruction that was nowhere to be found because he didn't have them.
Are you talking about Iraq 2, part 2?
Iraq 2. Iraq 1, okay, so Iraq 1, all right, and this is why I felt the way that PFC that I showed, but I wasn't like, I didn't join the army to go to war. I understood. I just didn't think it was going to happen as soon as I got in. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, really? I was kind of worried, but I was like, oh, well, we going to war.
Yep.
Now, here's the other thing. Let me say this. When I was like, we're going to war, I understood. All right. I understood. We had a treaty with Kuwait. Saddam went in and probably was justified in going in, but we was justified in kicking them back out. And that's all we did. We kicked them out of Kuwait. We was feeling so good. We wanted to go all the way into Iraq.
Yeah,
but
I remember that part because I was with a 9th Com when the call came through, said turn around.
Right. Because we was like, yeah, we was feeling geek.
You
right?
see Baghdad. We saw Baghdad. And that's why I understood that ain't no city in the U.S. big when I saw how big Baghdad was. I'm like, whoa.
And so basically, General Powell, and we had another one, the armor, General Schwarzkopf. We call him Storm and Norman. All right, so General Schwarzkopf and General Powell, they were like, nope, turn it around. And so we went from a little bit afraid to saw how well we were, and then we was like, oh yeah, you know, we was feeling ourselves. Understand that we as an army was feeling ourselves, and men of better renown, better hindsight said, no, we're done. We did what we meant to do. And see, when Colin Powell made it, it's called the Powell Doctrine. He made it because he said this was not going to be like Vietnam, where we go in there and get muddled up. We got a mission, a purpose, and we're going to go in, do the mission, kick them out, and go back.
Make some no-fly zones.
All right. You can't take territory until you have boots on the ground. All right. And we was moving as an army. Now, hindsight 2020, with Bush being CIA, with hindsight, look at all the hell that is caused now by all these splinter groups as a result of all the people that were taken out that had these splintered groups under control. And then it turns out that our people are starting to look way worse than the splinter groups. Because now we're starting to see how we set everybody up. We carpet bombed everyone. And then we're saying, well, these are backward people. Well, we bombed them into backwardness. And then these people like, oh, well, these are blue-eyed white people and they deserve our sympathy. Oh, hell no. Not when you deny Afro people, and to the Afro people, to any so-called wannabe black person that supports anything this media say and that still support this government. I don't have no love for you. I know you nothing but a traitor to your race, like Malcolm X said. And why? Because we're not standing for justice. You're too busy standing for a political party, which can never be just, because to be political is to lie all the time. And our job is to hold them accountable. But to stand for a political party over justice, you know what? I can't say nothing about you, but just stay out of my face. On TikTok, I just block them. I don't even talk to them. I block them. The females, I block them. I don't even talk to them. I block them. All right. I don't want to have conversations with them because they never supported me by even watching any of my content on YouTube. Most of the people that argue the most about, well, what you doing for the community, never donated anything to me to help the community, never watched any of my things to even give that support, right? Because I don't require you to donate, but they don't watch me. They don't listen to the messages I have to say, because if they did, our community could have been helped. All right. They spread the poison. Oh, the BAW, the black woman is queen because she got a coochie. She a queen because she got a coochie. And that she is the most important thing, more important than children and everything. Matter of fact, we don't need children. We don't need anything but her. She get to date whoever she want. And if you even look at somebody other than her, she could come at you. Oh, and by the way, she will always put the people in office that will destroy the Afro community. She'll complain about it afterwards, but then put them right back in office. Because in order to appease her, all they have to do is give her a token symbol, not policy symbol. Oh, you got a black female, you got a vice president that's a black female that's only claiming to be black around you, but she makes policy for Asians and anybody but you. But hey, you got a symbol. All right. All right, to this question, we've always been on the edge of World War III. All right. Now, here's the thing. This is why I think it might not happen the way people think it will, because a lot of people will not fight for this president. You lied and took away actual oxygen from people. These people figured out a way to take away air from people. Think about how deep that is. For 2 years, people went around, and when I say they took away air, they made sure that your mouth and nose was covered so you could not breathe. When they did that, and people were okay with not breathing the way the Most High intended, they knew that they could do anything else that they wanted. It's one thing to take away water, but when they get you in a state where they could take away the very air you breathe, and you are so scared that you do what they tell you to do and not look at how much sense it don't make, that's your problem. When they start blocking doctors, you should know not to listen to them. When they start blocking nurses, you should know not to listen to them. When they start blocking lab techs, you should know not to listen to them anymore. But how gullible are people? They still support that joker. But you have a lot of people that are glad right now that anyone is standing up to NATO, and it's crooked. This is just crooked on another level. And this is a sad state. This is a sad state of affair where somebody is so sorry, and you got people in office that are such liars that people that make good sense, who are unafraid, who want justice, are saying, oh, hell no, you're the liar. And we think the other guy, although we think that we don't agree with their politics, we don't agree with nothing, but they're more right than you. And we're not saying that they're the good. We saying they are just in what they're doing, because we are a country that was supposed to be about justice. And we turned into warmongers instead. You know, and so this is crazy. What's up, G1? All right, so this is crazy. This is crazy. This dude has become, these people that's running this country right now are seen as so evil that everybody in the world is better than them as far as integrity. And when you've fallen that low, that's a problem. We are unjust people, but bottom line, we are just an unjust people, bottom line. Oh, I've not mentioned this at all. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And you understand why you probably should subscribe to my channel, because when I tell you the truth, all kind of funny stuff start happening. All right. And because I'm not on Ethernet, this is why everybody's going to Wi-Fi and everything. Because it's easier to block a signal and mess with it. It's easy on cell phones. This is why they went with digital versus coaxial. All right. It's all about control. All right. They thought they could keep us in. All right. They thought they could just keep us in. Period. Keep us in the house and stuff. But what they didn't understand is there were some people that were going to rebel against that. All right. Then more people start to rebel against that. But there are some of us that knew that when something is really, really dangerous, all right, when something is really, really dangerous, we take whatever we have on and we throw it in biohazard. All right. Nobody's going to get locked up because that's what the people are supposed to do. These people in government are as wicked as they are because of the condition of the people that put them there. That's what you have to understand. All right. That's the thing you have to understand. I don't know what just happened.
A lot of what rebellion? Michael Duncan.
Sorry, I'm okay, that fixed it. One of the things about using my phone, I'm having a hard time turning the camera back around to show my face and stuff. But anyway, so that's basically it. So, oh, I forgot. So my email is in the description box at the top, right? Along with all the data that you might want to look at. So my email is in the description box. Nobody in their right mind would invade the United States. This is the problem that Japan had, because we own so many weapons that will be destroyed from the inside out. Right. It started with the melanated people, and then a lot of Caucasians start researching stuff, and it was the Caucasians that start telling what the real deal was. So we need all of us, but there has to be a sense of justice. And so they tried to brainwash us into that thing. And as information started coming out, people started getting braver and braver. And so now they want us to be patriotic. But their problem is they lied for 2 years and took away oxygen, destroyed children, destroyed small businesses, destroyed lives. They kept medication from people that could have healed them. So they caused thousands of deaths. Their policies caused thousands of deaths, along with the chicken-hearted doctors that thought that their license, not banding together to stand up against the people that issued their license, but that they're making millions was more important than the lives of people. The system is corrupt from the top down. But it's the bottom people that's supposed to keep the top people in check, because there's more of us and we have to stand up. But nope. Half of the people with no information became a weapon against the people with the information. And now they don't want us to say, I told you so. F that. We told you so. All right. So, all right, with that said, I'm gonna shut this down right now. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. My PayPal and Cash App is in the description box. Okay. And yeah, my PayPal, me, and Cash App is in the description box. So any little bit to help going towards this cause would work. But remember, you take care of yourself and family first. Period. And then you donate to people or give to people. Whatever you want to do. You always take care of yourself and family first. Those of you living in the Houston area right now, I would like to hook up with all y'all tomorrow. Because we got to make inroads with other Afro peoples. Because the Caucasian people, it's going to be the Caucasian people that destroy the world. It won't be us. All right. There we go. Yes. Yes. They shut them down to keep everybody sick. Michael Duncan's right here. They shut people down to keep everyone sick. That is sick and malevolent beyond levels of malevolent. But anyway, so with that said, let me bust a move. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace, love, and soul. All right. Y'all, a lot going on. A lot going on. All right. So don't forget the donation links and everything is in the description box. The subscribe button is down to your right. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up also as well. All right. And remember, before you donate, make sure you take care of yourself and family first. All right. With that said, brothers, I'm out. You got anything to add, Texas Marine?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm out.
Guess not. Okay, so he out. All right. Hey, what's up, Lamont Ellis? Oh man, you catching us late. But anyway, so with that said, I'm out. Peace, love, and soul. I'll be back on the 3rd. Okay. Okay. About to be some stuff going on over here. All right. So with that said, I'm out. Peace, love, and soul, y'all. I'll holler at y'all on the 3rd, 8 o'clock.